Hey guys, I'm going to show you how I make cheesy broccoli soup. So I have a cup of flour here and half a cup of butter. First thing I want to do is make a roux, and in case you don't know how to do that, first you're going to melt the butter and then slowly add the flour to the butter. Make sure to stir as you're doing it, because it will burn quickly if you're not paying attention. And then once it's a nice thick paste, take it off the heat. So I'm just going to do that step first. I'm going to combine these and I'm going to make a roux. Alright, so this is what the mixture looks like. It's kind of flaky but not too bad. I have 3 bouillon cubes here. I am heating up 11 cups of water in this big pot. I think it's about a 5-quart pot. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up and add them into the water. Okay, so to the pot I've added 2 bags of frozen broccoli. What I would recommend is buying 2 heads of fresh broccoli, but I don't have any and I don't have time to run to the store, so I'm going to do 2 bags of frozen, and my bags are 16 ounce each. So that gives you an idea of about how much, and you're just going to want to chop it up and toss that in the pot. Okay, we're waiting for it to boil, but right now is where I added the salt and the pepper. And once it's boiling, you're going to bring it down to a simmer, and you're going to simmer it probably for about 45 minutes or so. But, yeah. Alright, so I have about 15 minutes left on this, but the broccoli's done. So I'm just going to go ahead with the next step, which is going to be, I'm going to take this, woo, it's foggy, this roux, and we're going to add it in very, very slowly and mix it in until it's all, you don't want chunks of it floating around in there is what I'm getting at. Okay, so we're going to simmer for 5 minutes after the roux is mixed in, and here's my suggestion. I've made this recipe twice now. The first time, the recipe says, I'm kind of varying from the recipe a little bit, but the original recipe says to put the roux in afterwards. Now, this is what I'm suggesting, because I mixed up the first time and I accidentally left the roux in this pot. I made it in this pot, and then I put the water in with the bouillon cubes and whatnot. I would leave the roux in, mix it in as you add water, because it is really hard to mix in once the broccoli and everything's in there. And as you can see, it's really green because some of the florets of the broccoli have broken up so much. So that's just my suggestion. I mean, I'm sure it's going to taste the same anyway, but for looks wise, I would definitely leave the roux in the pot. Don't separate it into a different dish like I did this time. Just mix the roux in with the water and the bouillon cubes right at the beginning, and then just keep stirring throughout that 45 minutes or so. Alright, so now I'm going to add that cup of whipping cream. I'm going to stir that in. Alright, so now the cream is in. I'm going to do 1 cup of cheese at a time. I will let you know how many cups I do at the end, but you're going to do 1 at a time, stir it until it's melted, and then do another. Alright, so in total it was 5 cups of cheese that we added, and then we ended up adding a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit more salt and pepper at this point too, because it just wasn't quite enough, Chris said. So, and now we're done. Alright guys, so that is the end product in the dish, and it's nice and thick. Anyway, enjoy.